So I posted twice earlier about my Mill walking out of our wedding a year ago just because I asked her to delete a picture of me and DH. I already told her not to post after she posted it the second time. Because first request wasn't enough. Since then, she has gone from 1. Lying to my husband that she apologized to me when she didn't, Sep 2020, 2. Saying she did nothing wrong and God asked her not to apologize, Dec 20. 3. Blaming my youngest Bill, Mill's scapegoat who we still talk to, that he was the one who wanted to leave whereas everyone clearly heard him ask if they could go with breakfast with us. Bill brought him and Middle Bill to wedding, and Mill angrily said she wasn't going for breakfast and walked out. My husband firmly corrected her and didn't let her get away with that lie. She has also tried manipulative tactics like 1. Sending us wedding/Christmas gifts while sending a letter to DH that she hopes he will read in private bashing me. We sent both gift and letter back and then she went crazy texting my husband in alternate normal letters and all caps. 2. Telling DH who's a doctor she'll be taking him off her phone plan, he has been on it since he was a teenager. He took himself off without talking to her. 3. Asking Middle Bill not to come babysit for us and ultimately causing a rift between Middle Bill and DH. Middle Bill also was taking meds. Anyhow, we hired a great babysitter who has been taking care of our 2-month low. 4. Asking DH how he thinks her father, his grandpa who DH was close to, would feel about DH's treatment of her, i.e. DH insisting on her apologizing to me for walking out of the wedding before we can all move on. DH responded by saying his grandpa didn't talk to his brother for over 60 years after his brother disrespected his wife, so he isn't the best example. Then she. Last week at my request, DH reached out to her, after almost 9 months of NC, outlining to her why she owes me an apology because she basically made our wedding day about her and her feelings. We just wanted to give her the benefit of doubt since she's at the toddler stage where she doesn't process how her actions hurt others, making her the perpetual sufferer. DH also told her that I'm not her competition and both kinds of love can exist. She responded by telling DH she is sorry he feels this way and she is sorry for posting our wedding pic before we did while crying that she didn't make it about her but because of the 40 comments we didn't get to read before she deleted it. Which misses the point. She posted a pic of me and DH. I asked her not to post. It didn't matter if she posted that pic before or after we announced we wedded and she clearly hasn't yet understood the concept of boundaries. She sent 4 messages and only the first had this pseudo-apology in it. The other 3 were about how she has been crying and praying all year because she has been in incredible pain, after telling us God told her not to apologize last Christmas, and how she feels we are vengeful toward her because we sent her gifts back, we missed her retirement party and didn't tell her when Lo was born. Also told husband that yes, I'm not her competition but she raised him for 3 decades, more like till he was 18 but okay. DH took out gigantic student loans for college and medical school and also took Middle Bill in for 3 years during DH's 20s, but okay, and how she has done all her apologies and hope we will do right by her so we can all move on. DH responded that just because she is crying doesn't I'm not the sufferer here and that she had caused us incredible pain by her actions. DH told her that her walking out of the wedding was revenge, and she could have thought how that action would affect our future interactions with her. Did she expect we would still visit her or invite her to our home? Basically he told her he cannot rug sweep her behavior by sending gifts or saying she loves him. And that she can't say she has done all her apologies while she hasn't apologized to me. Anyhow, she wrote back to say she is now aware of how angry and hurt I feel toward her and that she can apologize for the hurt even if we do not feel we owe her an apology. And that she is willing to talk or apologize in person, but only if the opportunity presents itself. How best do we respond to her? And is it even safe to meet her in person? I feel she would break down and start crying about woe is me, woe is me. I don't want to talk and I don't know that she will apologize. I also don't owe her an apology for walking out of my own wedding. I sent her a message after she walked out that day asking why she disrespects my boundaries and then acts upset when I stand up for them. Now she says I sent her an unkind letter and that's among the list of things she expects me to apologize for. As well as us missing milestones with her in the past year. Also I don't know what the impact of meeting in person will do to DH. I feel he is better with writing than talking. But I also don't want to be the person that's being hard to please, and refusing to meet in person. What to do? Summary. Entitled Mill finally wants to talk or apologize in person after a year of yelling she won't apologize, using different manipulative tactics and even threatening that we can go our own way. What to do? I would prefer she apologize via text. Also, she exhibits narcissistic qualities and expects us to apologize. Hi folks. First time poster, so please be kind. I am struggling with the fallout from my new mother-in-law's behavior at our wedding. I could post an essay about her behavior since then, but have decided to keep it to the behavior surrounding the wedding for now. I am massively concerned about the effect it has had / could have on my relationship with my husband, and feel the need to seek advice from others in similar situations. Names and locations have been omitted to protect the innocent, haha. My husband and I met in graduate school and were instantly connected. He had moved here from a surrounding state and I had lived here my whole life. We dated for 6 years before we got married, and his mother was never really an issue. His parents would come visit and once in a while we would go visit them. There were some red flags with his mother in terms of her drinking, but I honestly never gave it a second thought at the time. Once we got engaged, everything changed. His mother suddenly became incredibly needy and manipulative, even though they didn't live in the same state. Everything comes with a side of guilt. Her side of the family started causing issues because we were not inviting children to our wedding. In our defense, it was a black tie, evening wedding and we simply did not feel it was appropriate for children. Let me be clear that we love children, but decided not to invite them to our wedding. However, my Mill took it upon herself to confront me on this, without her son's knowledge, and try to coerce me into allowing her side of the family to bring their children even though I had made it clear to her in a kind way that no children were being invited on both sides. She and her family continued to push the issue to the point where my husband and I offered to pay for a babysitter for the children so that the parents could attend. This was rejected, and some members of her family opted not to attend our wedding because children weren't invited, which was hurtful and in my opinion a little ridiculous. It was the source of a lot of drama leading up to the wedding. Throughout the planning process I attempted to include my Mill from afar, sending her pictures and updates so that she would feel included because she doesn't have a daughter and always wanted one. The week before the wedding, I sent her a bouquet of white flowers to make her feel special. Then came the wedding weekend. We had our rehearsal dinner and then opened it up to all of our guests to come for welcome drinks. It was all very elegant and going well until my Mill's side of the family showed up. All of the women showed up wearing white, which is a big no where I come from, in protest to us not allowing children at the wedding. This was pointed out to me by our friends from graduate school, and frankly it was humiliating and petty. I said my hellos and could tell some of them felt bad, and went back to the hotel to get my beauty rest for the big day. On the day of the wedding, things were going well. I was in a suite with my family and friends getting ready and my husband was in a separate suite with his family and friends getting ready. All was good. The ceremony started, and when it was my turn to walk down the aisle, I couldn't have been more excited. We lost 3 grandparents between us in the 2 years leading up to our wedding and we decided to honor them by acknowledging them at the start of our wedding ceremony. Once they were mentioned, my Mill got up out of her seat, approached us at the altar and interrupted our wedding to say that an aunt who had passed away wasn't mentioned. My husband immediately told her to sit down, but the damage was done, and guests thought she was objecting to our marriage. It was mortifying. My husband is pretty sure she was mixing hooch with her medications, but she claims that was not the case. When I had my first dance with my father, she got up, turned her back to us and proceeded to walk around the tables her family was seated at. She was the only person standing and not paying attention. My husband and my Mill had discussed what song they would dance to for their first dance months in advance of the wedding, and he ultimately selected the song she wanted. However, right before it was their turn to dance, she angrily accused him of lying to her and choosing a different song. My husband has the text messages from her requesting the song that he selected, so this was completely untrue. She often lies to get what she wants, which has continued since the wedding. It got to the point where he had to say, "Mom, why are you ruining my wedding to her while they were dancing?" We had to edit her behavior throughout the night from our wedding video. This woman has had such a negative impact on us in other ways as well, which is a post for another time, and I'm wondering if there is a way to get past the way she treated us at our wedding. Edited, I broke my post into paragraphs for ease of review. Also, I feel it's important to note that DH is aware that his mother is a very real problem for our marriage and that she cannot seem to control herself. DH and I have agreed that he can have a relationship with her if he chooses to do so, but I am not required to attend visits or have contact with her. He is as upset about the situation as I am. However, there have been times where he will get defensive and still appears to be in the fog slightly. I am sympathetic to this because I have a great relationship with my mom, and so does he, and I could not imagine having a mom like his. It must be awful. He does stand up to Mill and make her apologize when she acts up, which is almost every time we have a visit with her. But she does not change and just finds a new way to be toxic. I've tried my best to put on a good face when we see her, but we are always waiting for the other shoe to drop with her and it usually does.